Long time no see. I am Shalina B and I am back. Just breathe, move, and write it down. Be okay with your no. Don't wait. Don't put age and time limitations on you. Go do it because you never know what is on the other side of that and how you may feel after you do the thing. So come on in. We have a lot to catch up on. And we're going to talk about how to reshift your focus for the fall season. Hello. I am Shalina B. Welcome to my channel. It has been a while. I have not filmed since May of this year, y'all. So I am happy to be back. Hello to all of you. If you are new, I am Shalina B. Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you for subscribing. If you are not new, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me even throughout my hiatus. I am slowly coming back and I just appreciate you all for being here. Like the title says, we're going to have a little chit chat and have a little life update. And then I'm going to tell you how to reshift your focus for the fall transition and the fall season. It can be rough going from summer to fall. Lots of things have occurred and the seasons are changing, our moods are changing, our outfits are changing, everything is different. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. But first, we're going to catch up. Gotta catch up. So again, for those of you who do not know me, I am Shalina B and I am your go-to mom for family meals and family routines. And I also help you prioritize your self-care and maintain your home. So you're going to get a little bit of self-care, lifestyle videos, home management, and a lot of meals. I love cooking and I love meal planning. I love the daily planning for my household. I love structure and organization and routines. And I feel that when you have order and when you are able to have household routines for your family, you really thrive. You thrive, your family thrive, everything around you thrive because you are taking care of the things that are supposed to be taken care of. They don't take up so much mental space because you know your routine, you know your go-to meals, you know your cleaning routine, your kids know. So it's just one less thing to worry about so you can focus on the things that matter. So that is some of the things that you'll get here. You'll also get some fashion. I've really been into postpartum fashion. Since I had my baby girl, she is 1 now, which we will talk about a little update with her turning 1. But I had to revamp my style. I am done having kids. I have 4 beautiful kids. I have twins. They are 8 years old now. I have a toddler, Christian, who is 2. Sometimes, if you, depending on the day, you ask him how old he will tell you 3 or 5, okay? So he is 2 going on 3 and going on 5. And then my baby girl, Charlie, just turned 1 years old. My oldest, Elijah and Jaden, are now 3rd graders. They are big 3rd graders. So a lot of exciting things around here. But besides what I do, I am a content creator, I am a coach, I am a consultant, I am a speaker. I am the owner and founder of the Shalina B brand and Prioritize Her, which is a one-stop shop for moms in search of community and resources to prioritize their self-care and maintain their homes. I have had the joy of speaking to parents at schools on how to provide routines for their kids. I've spoke to moms and women and pregnant and expecting moms about just having routines and preparing themselves and having self-care throughout maintaining a home because it can be very challenging. I have a growing passion for maternal infant health because the maternal mortality rates have been very high amongst the Black community. Black moms and Black children were dying at high rates. So I've had some unfavorable experiences and I've had some great birthing experiences, but it's something that needs to have a focus and a lens. So I try to do my part as well to participate in these conversations and the dialogue to make sure that I am making an impact in and a change in my own way. So that's a little bit of what I do. I felt like it was important to just mention some of those things that were close to my heart. I have a wonderful husband of 10 years, which we celebrated this year, and we'll get into that as well. But that's just a little bit about me in a nutshell. So if you don't know who I am, this is who I am. I think I mentioned that I am getting into some fashion, some postpartum fashion. So follow me on LTK. I am on LTK. I post some of my fashion. I post travel essentials. I post home essentials. Just the things that I like and the things that I gravitate to. So check it out. Tell me what you think. And shop. Shop the things that speak to you and follow me on LTK. So let's get into it. Where have I been? Again, I said that I have not posted a long form vlog on YouTube since May. And that video was the first trip as a family of 6. We went to Kalahari in Ohio. It's like an indoor water park. We went for the twins' 8th birthday. Are they 8? Yeah. We went for the twins' 8th birthday. And it was a lot of fun. So check out that vlog if you haven't. I did a couple vlogs before then leading up to it, like the preparation for it. So I was proud of myself because getting 6 people together for a trip was a lot, in the different age ranges, but we did it and we had a great time. So, if you need some travel tips on traveling as a family, then check it out because I think it would be really good for you. But after that, obviously after May, we really just prepared to get the kids wrapped up with school and start summertime. This was my first summer with 4 kids at home. So I didn't know what to expect, okay? So I just kind of threw myself in it and I tried to be as present as possible and be there and get them involved in things. And I feel like we found our flow, but it was a little bit challenging. I'm not gonna lie, because again, it was a new experience. Hubby works from home, but he works, throughout the day. So I'm working at home and I have the kids. So I had to find routines and things that just worked for everybody and to make sure that I made time for everybody. So we found some type of structure, some type of routine. We tried to have time outside. My eldest Elijah is he has autism, so he has ABA therapy at home. So sometimes Jaden will go down to a session and play with him, and then the little kids will hang out, or Jaden would hang out with his little siblings. So we made it work. You have to do what you have to do, and as moms, that's what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good summer. I would say overall, it was a very good summer. The one thing that I am most proud of from my summer was being consistent with my newsletter and with my Facebook community. If you are not on the newsletter, the Prioritize Her newsletter, definitely sign up. I will have the link in my description box. I share tips for self-care and managing your home, meals, my faves, all things that help you be the best you and take care of your family as well. And in our Facebook community, the Prioritize Her community, we did a main method challenge. And if you're not familiar with the main method, I created the main method for when my kids are home on breaks and things like that, because sometimes it can get mundane and it can get bored because our kids are home, we're still working, we still have our schedule, and we need to have some type of structure and routine for them so they can have things to do, because kids have a short attention span and they need stuff to do and they don't want to drive us stir crazy. So the main method stands for movement, activity, independent play, and nourishment. So obviously movement, everybody can do some type of movement. So you can dance, you can walk outside, you can do stretches, just things to get your body moving. And that's something, and the thing about the main method, it's something that you can do with your kids. So, with the movement, you both can do it together and you can make it fun. With the activities, that could be an activity that you do together where whether it's cooking a meal together, doing something in the lawn, or planting some flowers together, doing a art project together. It's just some time to have that togetherness. And then the I in main is independent play. So you spent time together, you spent time together doing an activity, and then they have independent play, so you can rest, you can get a task done at home, you can catch up on some work. It's just a good time for that. And independent play is very important for children. They have that time to to explore, to learn, to imagine things. You want kids to be able to enjoy their own company and to spend some time with themselves alone. And I think it would really benefit them as they grow up and as they become adults, because they'll like their own company and they don't have to depend on being around everybody else. So I think it works out for everyone. So independent play, and then N is nourishment, and that's we all need to eat, we all need food, we all need nourishment. So that was the main method, and we had a little challenge. I went live and I provided some resources in the Facebook group and in the newsletter, and I provided a main method guide of activities and breaking down the main method and kind of the purpose and benefits of it. So it was really good. And I'll definitely be bringing it back next year for next summer. But again, our kids have breaks coming up. So I also used it for the like a holiday season when those breaks come. So that's a great time to use it as well. But I feel like I was most proud of myself for having that main method and connecting with some mamas and some women who needed to utilize that. And I think that is one of the things that I was really trying to do, and that's a continued goal, is to build the community here on YouTube and on my other platforms, because community is necessary. And we all want to feel we all want a space to belong to. We want that sense of belonging. We want that togetherness and that like-mindedness from other like-minded individuals. So community is very important to me, and I'm glad that you're here and you're a part of my community. And tell a friend to join our community, to subscribe on my YouTube and my other platforms, because I would love to connect with all of you. Another thing that I did in June, so I said that I didn't post a long form video since May and life kind of got really busy. I started my own consistency challenge. So this was something that I am aware of, that Maddie James on Instagram, she started a consistency challenge a while ago to really get people to post regularly on their platforms and to get that consistency muscle to post content. And I said, you know what, for June, I'm going to do my own personal consistency challenge, so I could build my momentum for posting and editing and filming and things of that nature. So I was posting shorts and reels, more like day in the life shorts and reels, and it went really well. I don't think I missed a day. Maybe I missed a day or two in June, but I went that full 30 days, and I was able to look at the impact. I grew on YouTube, I grew on Instagram, I grew a little bit on TikTok, but I didn't continue with TikTok because I really had to just focus on the platforms that I really wanted to grow. And for me at this time, TikTok was kind of secondary, so I didn't continue with that. But I think that it went really well. I was really proud of myself with the content that I created. I got really comfortable with it. So it was a great thing. And I think now I understand what it takes to be able to maintain that type of content, especially maintaining a family of 6 and doing all the other things. But it was great for June, and I definitely want to pick that back up. I kind of fell off in July because life just lifed and life got crazy. But that's why I'm back now, and I'm back with a better schedule, a better routine for filming and working, and we're going to ease into that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we try to go full steam ahead, and we need to give ourselves some grace, some space, some time to ease on in so we don't burn out. And that's one thing that I don't want to do. I don't want to burn out. I don't want to just have to have a full stop. I think breaks, pauses, and everything are okay, but I want to be able to kind of stretch myself, expand my territory, and see what can I really do without stopping, or how can I plan ahead. That is really the goal. I'm trying to make sure that I plan ahead, batch things, so that way I'm not doing everything in real time, because the way my life is set up, it's hard to do things in real time, or I'm stressing myself out to do it. So that is something that I'm working on. But yeah, I was really, really proud of myself for that, for the summer, those things that I were able to maintain for my business, but also it's fulfilling for me, because as a stay-at-home mom of 4, I put so much energy into my family, into my household, into my husband, and like many of us, we may lose ourselves. We may forget to add ourselves in our to-do list. So I love that I still made time for self-care, that I still made time for my community and my business, because it's important. You have to have some hobby or something outside of the household, because otherwise I don't know how fulfilling it would be. I would agree that, family is important, and to maintain our family and to be good stewards of our family and to really just grow our family in the Lord. That is definitely my number one goal. But also, I need to grow in the Lord, and I need to connect with God, and I do that through the gifts that He's given me, the talents that He's ingrained in me, and through my self-care. So that was very important for me to continue. So if you don't have a hobby, or if you don't have a regular daily self-care practice, you should definitely look into that, and you should start. And I have a live, I'll link it down below, but it's creating your summer self-care routine. But I will be filming some lives in the future about a fall self-care routine, but I will be sure to link that summer self-care routine, because you can easily take those tips and apply them for the fall season. The rest of June was time spent with friends, going to brunch, going to birthdays, celebrating birthdays of my friends and my friends' kids. And the big thing that happened at the end of June is I cut my hair. Now that was the first time, okay? I cut my hair the first time, y'all. It felt so good to chop all of that hair off. I think for me, I had been holding on to my hair because I don't know. I guess I wanted to grow it out, or I wanted to see how long it could grow. And I colored it a couple times. It was really pretty, but I think my hair had been damaged after all of that coloring. And then I just didn't feel good about myself. At this point, something happened. I had a sew-in when I went to the Kalahari place, and I got all that chlorine and stuff in my hair, and I think it did something to my hair. And I was like, okay, my hair was kind of like falling out, and it just, I don't know what happened, but it did some really crazy stuff to my hair. So after that, I was like, you know what, my crown, I have to feel good about myself. This is my crown. I want to wear it boldly and proudly, and I just didn't feel good. So I let that go. I let that hair go, and I cut it off. And that, like I said, that was the first time. And my sister told me, like, oh, you're going to keep cutting it. And I'm like, no, I don't know. But I did. I kept cutting it, y'all, because I think in July, I cut it even shorter. And then I ended up getting a perm. And here I am now with a pixie. So I am officially a pixie girly. So if you are a pixie girly, comment down below. If you like short hair, you've had short hair, if you had a pixie before, let me know down below, and let me know what are your like pixie essentials, or what were your favorite things about your pixie. I think for me, my favorite thing is just the versatility. And you wouldn't think that short hair would be versatile, but I can curl it up, I can wave it up, I can mold it down like I do now. Like, this is really my go-to, especially because it's starting to get cooler outside, but for the summertime, I'm like, why am I putting heat on my hair? And even when my hair was longer, I didn't really put heat in my hair in the summertime, and I did it more in the wintertime. And I'm gonna apply that same thing with short hair. So molding it down, you just need a good cut, good products, and go. And that's really what I've been doing. So I look forward to the fall hairstyles that are coming, but I've loved this pixie. And the funny thing about the pixie, I told myself I'm going to get a pixie when I'm 40, because for some reason in my head, I'm like, when I'm in my 40s, that's when I can have short hair. And, I got to a point where I'm like, I don't have to wait till I'm 40. I don't have to wait. And I'm about almost 4 years from 40. So I'm not that far off. But I said, I don't have to wait. And I'm so glad I didn't wait. I'm so glad I did it. I love it so much. I feel like it fits me. I feel like I've just blossomed, and, I just feel brighter and lighter. I get so many compliments. I just feel like my personality can really shine. And it's crazy. Cutting off my hair really opened and lit up my face, and just helped, I don't know, just helped me all over. So it's crazy how a haircut can do it. But they say, when a woman cuts her hair, she's about to change the world. So I am changing the world in my own way and in my own lane. So if you've been wanting to cut your hair or do something different to your hair, or even if it's not hair, maybe it's another thing you want to do that thing. Don't wait. Don't put age and time limitations on you, go do it, because you never know what is on the other side of that and how you may feel after you do the thing, especially when it's been on your mind over and over and over and you can't get it out of your mind. Like when I tell you, I thought about cutting my hair so much in the past couple of years, but I said no, I'm going to grow it out. I'm pregnant with this child. I'm pregnant with this child with my 2-year-old and then my 1-year-old, because they were back to back, and I was like, no, I'm not going to cut my hair. Because somewhere down the line somebody told me that it was a myth, but they said if you cut your hair while you're pregnant, your baby's not going to have any hair. And I know that's probably one of those old wives tale type of myths, but I believed it and I didn't cut my hair. But I'm so glad I did it now because I love it. I love it so much, y'all. Like, I love being a pixie girly for now. So, granted, I'm still probably gonna do some cool, like a wig, or try to do like some little braided hairstyles, because I just like to do different styles to my hair. I've always been that type of girl. But knowing that this is like my regular, I love it. I love it, and I feel so good. So do it. So if there's something that you want to do, whether it's your hair or it's a thing that you want to do, don't wait, don't put it off, do it. And let me know down below if there's a thing that you've been sitting on that you want to do. Let me know down below, because this just might be your sign to do it. But I would love to know. I would pray over it for you, or just give you encouragement to go and do the thing. Okay, and July was really business as usual. Again, main method, newsletter, kind of the slowing down of content, but we were still posting content. I mentioned we had some birthdays and everything. But the one thing that happened at the end of July, y'all, my oldest baby, my twin boy Elijah, fell ill, and then he ended up in the hospital. We ended up in the pediatric intensive care unit, y'all. So like I said, that he has autism, and we found out when he was diagnosed when he was 3. We'd had interventions, honestly, since they were born, because they were twins and they were born a little bit early, and then we had a little bit of complications with the delivery. We've always been in contact with doctors and specialists to make sure that they were on track with their developments and their milestones. We had something called early intervention. It's called early on here, but it's early intervention, where somebody comes to your home, they assess your child, and they try to do little things to just move them along and make sure that they're meeting their milestones. So I'm very thankful for our pediatrician, and that they were just on top of it, and just responded so well to that. And then me and my husband as well, just making sure that we are always connected to resources and utilizing the resources that were available to us, asking the right questions, being our kids' biggest advocate, because we are their advocate, because where they may not be able to advocate for themselves or not even know, it's our job to step up and ask those questions, and not just shove it off like, oh, they'll grow out of it, oh, they'll be okay, but to really be like, hey, I've noticed this thing, they're not doing this thing, or maybe they're doing this thing that I'm not sure about. Ask. It does not hurt to ask and to put it out there, just so you know, because you're going to Google something and you're going to get all tons of things, and they're going to tell you all tons of things about what something may be, and you don't want that. So ask those questions if you need to. And if you have any questions, related to autism or diagnosis or anything like that, put them down below. I'd be happy to chat with you. But so back to my point, because he has autism, he has some food sensitivities, food restrictions. He has a lot of sensory needs, so he only eats crunchy things, and he probably eats about 4 things. And he started to slowly, I would say the regression with the food probably happened maybe 4 or 5 or so shortly after diagnosis, and it just got less and less, and we've tried our best to give him things, but as he aged, he just didn't want to eat a lot of different type of things, but he loves crunchy things and he loves water. And something also that happens is their digestive system. That's something I noticed with autism. Digestive systems aren't that great. And I know because of his diet, his digestive system wasn't that great. So he wasn't able to, just kind of remove the waste regularly. And it would cause it to back up, and then he would get sick, he would be ill, he wouldn't feel well, he would throw up from that, and then eventually it would he would drink water, he would get it out, and then he would be fine. But we noticed this summer that it was happening more often. We didn't understand why. We would go to the doctor. They said, oh, just continue to help him to eliminate his waste and, drink water and fluids and things like that. But one weekend in July, it was severe. And unfortunately, he ended up having a seizure, and his blood sugar dropped low. And again, that was another thing that the doctor told us, that children with autism are more at risk for seizures. And again, something I would have never known. But I'm thankful that, you know 8 years ago, 6 years ago, when we first found out about autism, or that he potentially could have autism and being diagnosed with it, there have been so many interventions, so much more research, so many more resources since then. So I'm so thankful that it is being highlighted, it's being studied, and researched, and there are resources out there for us so we can utilize them and make sure that we give our children the best quality care and the best quality of life that they can have. But yeah, they're prone to seizures. So when I tell you, this was the most scariest thing ever, to see my child in that state, to see my child helpless, and I felt helpless. So, we called 911. We went to the hospital. He was in like they said, like kind of a comatose state, so he wasn't responding. He was just kind of looking off. When I tell you, I was so scared, but I immediately start praying and listening to my gospel, because that's what I do. I have to go to God. I can't worry about it on my own, because I can't handle that. I can't do anything. You know what I mean? God is in control, and God is going to guard the situation. So I kept talking to him and praying and telling him that things are going to be fine, and mommy's here, and singing the songs that he loves. Because I in my mind, I'm like, if somebody is in a comatose state, they're there, but their body is protecting them. So that's why they typically go in the state for protection. So I'm like, he might be able to hear me. So I'm going to continue to let him know that he is fighting, that he's going to be here, that he is loved, all those things, to let him know to push through. Don't give up, because I didn't know how severe it was, but I'm just thankful that God gave me the strength to be able to ride in the ambulance and be there and go through all of that and see him go through that, because it was rough. It was hard. You don't want to see your child in pain. You don't want to see your child hurt. You want to be able to save and help your child. So it was hard, but I also knew I could break down and cry at the time. I had to tell the story a million times to everybody who came in the room. I had to make sure that he was good. I did not leave his side. I did not leave his side, because I'm his advocate, and he's considered nonverbal. He has commands, and he can say like, hey, I want this, or I want that. But as far as like a back and forth social communication, that is not something that he is able to do at the time. So I am his advocate. So I was there with him. But by the grace of God, we stayed there. I think it was 2 days, a day and a half, 2 days, something like that. And they ran all these tests. They did like sugar tests to make sure that his sugar levels were back normal. He had, I think it's called an EEG, where they hooked up these electrodes to his head so they can monitor his brain activity because of the seizure, to see, kind of, is it an epileptic seizure? If you die, it's going to be diagnosed with that, or was it just a one-off seizure? And just so happened it was a one-off. He has not had any more seizures, thank God, and I pray that he doesn't. We've been very diligent on monitoring and just making sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do, just to make sure that he's healthy and he is well. But everything ended up checking out, and we were discharged, and we came back home. And God, I'm just so thankful. Like, I am so thankful. He is probably sick of me when I tell you, he'll go to sleep, and I'll go in there, and I'll like kiss on him, and I'll hug him, and he will look at me and turn over with the covers. But I'm like, I want to make sure you're okay, and I want you to know that you're loved, and I want you here, and I want you to be here, because almost losing a child is very, very scary. I don't wish that on anybody. And if any of you have lost a child, my heart goes out to you. So that was something that I don't ever want to experience again. So he's probably sick of me. Prepare to be sick of me. And that's okay, because I'm going to love you, love you, love you, love you. And, and that's what we did. And I think that that has really taught me to lead with love. We might be tired. We have our days that we're upset, and we need a break, and we all do. But I try to remember to lead with love, because our kids, again, we are their advocates. We are there for them, and we need to show them love. And that's how they're going to continue to make it in this world, and you know, be kind to others, because we are showing kindness and we are showing love and we are showing them how to be kind in a world that is not kind, in a world that is mean, in a world that wants to harm people. So that is just something that is very near and dear to me. And I wanted to share, one, because I wanted to give you an update, but also if there's anything that you've been through like this, or if I can help anybody, that is what I'm here to do. But if you have any stories, please share them down below. I would love to know, because I know I'm not alone, and I know these things happen, and I'm just thankful that we are on the good side, other side, and the good side of this, being out of the woods. But we still have a long way to go. We have a lot of appointments and follow-ups. We still have labs we have to do. I have been utilizing this medical planner that my friend created, and I will link it down below if that's something that you're interested in. But I knew, because of his medical needs and complexities have increased now, I wanted a place that I can house everything in one place, because it could be a lot, putting it in my phone, putting it in the planner here and there. And me and my husband need to be able to communicate when we go to meetings and doctor's appointments and stuff. So her medical journal has been great for that. I have a place to write down daily things. There's a place for physical therapy notes, doctor's notes, follow-up notes, medical journal log, anything that you would need to take care of a medically complex child. That has been amazing and a lifesaver. So again, I would definitely link that below. It has been I've been using it for maybe, I got it a little bit after we got home in July. So August I've been using for a full month now, and it's now September. So I have been loving it, and we've been using it, and it's a part of our routine now. And I'm glad that that's something that we can just put in one place. I don't have to think about it. When I go to the doctor's appointments, I can tell them, like, hey, this is what's been going on since you last seen him, because I can't keep it up here. I don't have the mental bandwidth to keep all of that and everything else. So it's in one place. As doctors call us and give us information, we can write it there. As we have our ABA meetings, ABA is applied behavior analysis, which is related to autism therapy for children, just to learn different skills and things. So when we have those appointments, we can write everything in there, write his progress. He might be starting OT soon, so that'll be something else that we'll keep in there. So again, a long road to go, long way to go, but definitely we are further than where we were, and I'm so 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 thankful. So that is a little bit about what happened with him, but again, we are so happy. We're so thankful that he is well. So after that happened, my friend had a birthday, and my other friend was hosting a garden party. And insert the mom guilt here, because I started to feel like, this was a lot for me to be in the hospital, just staying up. I didn't sleep for 2 days straight, because I had to watch him. I had to make sure he didn't pull the electrodes off, because he did pull them off the first time. They were poking him every hour to make sure that his sugar, or to monitor his sugar levels, and I just couldn't sleep anyway because of everything that happened. I was by myself. I was with him. So when I got home, I'm like, I feel burnt out. I need a break. I need, some space. And I was like, I want to go to the things that I'm invited to. My friend invited me to her birthday party. There's a garden party. I'm like, I want to go. But I did feel guilty at first, because I'm like, I don't want to leave my kids. I'm away from my other kids. But thankful to my husband, he was like, no, you need to go. And I'm so glad I did, because we had so much fun. I had so much fun celebrating my friend for her birthday. And the garden party, y'all, it was floral themed. I love a good theme. We were all dressed in florals. It was pretty. It was hosted in a backyard. Of a beautiful couple's home. They decorated all nice. The food, oh, they cooked it from scratch. When I tell you, it was so good. So I'm just happy. And I was amongst beautiful women, beautiful conversations, beautiful vibes. When I tell you, like, and that's the interesting thing, you never know what somebody is going through, but being there with those ladies, meant the world to me. And just being around good company, good people, good laughs, like it helped me to kind of just take off the focus of what I was going through at the time. So I was very appreciative, and I felt like that was a good way to just kind of come out of that terrifying situation and just kind of have a little bit of peace and a little bit of me time. So now we are to August. When I tell you, August was such a busy month. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad we made it through. Parts of it I want to redo, but other parts I'm glad that they have come and gone. So August was a prep, a big, I would say end of July, beginning of August, after Elijah got out of the hospital, was a prep time. So back to school was in the next, what, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So we did back to school shopping. We got the boys some shoes and some clothes. So I was happy to get that done. That was one of the top things on my list to do, is get their clothes, their shoes, their school supplies, book bags, and everything, because I knew a lot of more things were coming up in August, so we got that done. Baby girl turned 1. Oh my goodness, we had a birthday party for her, and I felt like I planned it pretty last minute, but we came through. Shout out to my friend who helped me find the place and get everything worked out, because when I tell you, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I wanted to plan something at home, if I wanted to plan something somewhere else. And she's 1, so she's small. She's a little baby. So a lot of these like jumping places and stuff were a little big for her. But we had it at a museum and it was great. She enjoyed herself. Everybody enjoyed themselves. The food was good. The people that attended were great. They're a part of our village. So it was just a great time. We took pictures, we hung out, we had themed shirts. It was her first trip around the sunshine theme, because she is really my sunshine. And for those of you that don't know, I had her last year in August. And after I had her via C-section. And a few hours or so after I had her, I had a uterine rupture, a uterine hemorrhage. And I think I bled 4.5 or so liters, I think they said, which is the equivalent to almost a body of blood. So I was near death, y'all. It wasn't looking great. It was really touch and go. I couldn't breathe, and I have a video, if you want to see it, that I talk more about the hysterectomy. So I'll be sure to link that. But yeah, I couldn't breathe, and then I ended up in the ICU because they ended up I performing a partial hysterectomy, because all of their interventions would not work, and I would not stop bleeding. I kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and one thing that the doctor said, that it came to a point where it sounded like a faucet. It was just coming. So my clotting factors would not work. So I ended up getting blood transfusion, platelets, and plasma to save my life. But thank God to that doctor team, because they really acted fast and saved my life. And when I talk about maternal mortality and maternal infant health, that is the type of things I want to see for all people, for Black people also specifically, because Black women and Black children are at a disadvantage when it comes to care that we receive. But the care that I received was phenomenal, and I'm so thankful to God that they acted fast and they saved my life. And I got to be back with my baby and my husband, because I know that that was scary for him as well. So that is why she is my sunshine. She is my ray of sunshine. Her name is Charlie Ray, and we named her Ray because my dad's name is Ray, and my dad passed away in March of 2021. So it's always been bittersweet. And I said, if I ever had a girl, I want to name her. I want to, give her a part of his name, especially because he is no longer here with us. I want his legacy to live on. So her name is Charlie Ray, and she's truly a ray of sunshine, a bright, bold Leo. She is fiery in the finest, but I love her, and I'm so happy to have her energy and her love. And I'm so happy that God knew and saw fit to bless me with one more child and bless me with a girl, because we thought we were done after 3, but God said, one more. And he always knows best. He knows what's best for us. So I'm so thankful for my little family. But yes, she turned 1 and our party was great. We had such a great time. And then, y'all, after the party, it was time before we get there, my hubby had a birthday as well. So when I tell you, we had her birthday, my husband went out of town, we had her party, my husband had a birthday, and then we celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary in the Dominican Republic. So we have been together for a total of 13 years. But we have been married for 10 years, and we wanted to plan a trip. We haven't been anywhere since our baby moon in 20 we were pregnant, so in what, 2015, I think. We have not had a tropical vacation since then, because life gonna life and we got kids. But I'm so glad that we stuck to it. We did it. We found a place, and when I tell y'all, this was a wonderful trip. It was so magical. Man, we stayed at the Secrets Cap Cana Resort, and the resort was beautiful. Again, in Dominican Republic, we did the preferred suites. We had a swim out suite, so the pool was right from our patio door. When I tell you, I love water, I love being in water. It just brings me calm. So I knew that if we got a hotel room or wherever we were going to stay, I needed to have the pool right there, because I didn't want to have to get up and go all the way down to the beach and all those things. But I can just go right out of my door. And when I tell y'all, it was amazing. I got up in the morning and went for a swim at late at night, because you can swim any time of day because it's your pool. So we had such a great time. We themed all of our outfits every day. We coordinated so well. We had some great food, and on our actual anniversary, we had the breakfast in the room. We had a massage planned, which was great. Oh, they had this like hydro circuit, this sauna and sweat room. And then we had the best massages. I think they were like 80, 90 minutes long. And you know what? That is a luxury. And that's something that I'm starting to do. I used to just get 6 minute, 60-minute massages, but I actually got a massage not too long ago. And I think that was 80 or 90 minutes. And it just makes a difference, because they can focus more on your problem areas and versus just kind of moving around really quickly. So that is a little tip for me. Just a little tip, get a longer massage if you can, because it is so relaxing. But we did massages, and then we had pictures taken. Y'all, these were the most beautiful pictures. They did such a great job. They tried to charge us a lot for them, but we worked out a good deal. But man, like, pictures are magical, and I definitely want to get them blown up and in a frame or canvas, so I can just have that memorable moment. Because when I tell you, oh, there were some beautiful pictures. We had a great time. And then that evening we had a candlelight dinner on the beach. Had a little surf and turf, a little champagne. It was just so nice, and a little like cabana hut thing. So it was a perfect anniversary day. I couldn't have asked for anything better. We were together. We got to reflect on 10 years of marriage, and really just kind of pray over the next 10 years and the next 10 years, because we want to be together for 50 years and plus. I really love hearing about the couples that have been together for 50 plus years, and the ups and downs and just how they made it. And I want to have that same story and help somebody else continue in their marriage and have a beautiful, blossoming, blissful marriage, because we all deserve it. We deserve to have somebody, if that's something that you desire, to have a companion and have somebody that truly loves you for you, that's in it for the long haul, is your person. Like, we all deserve that, and I'm so thankful that I have mine. So it was an absolute amazing trip. Shout out to my mother and my mother-in-law, because they watched our babies, all four of them. Our kids also went back to school the day before we left, which was so crazy. When I tell you, that was a crazy week, from the baby's birthday party, husband's birthday, back to school, and travel. But I love them so much. They came together. They worked it out. They divided and conquered and took care of our babies, kept them safe, got them to school, kept them fed, all of that. So I'm so appreciative of them, and it's something that I will never forget, because it's not easy. Everybody does not have a village. Everybody may not have family near, or may not have a good relationship with their family to even be able to leave their children. So I get how challenging it is. And trust me, I had a lot of anxiety leaving my babies, because I still nurse my Charlie. So I didn't know how it was going to be leaving her. But that girl took a sippy cup, a bottle, because I have stored up my breast milk, because I had kind of after the hysterectomy, my milk supply stopped. because I was nursing Christian probably a month up until I had Charlie. And then once I had the hysterectomy, it stopped just because of the blood and everything that happened. But thank God I was pumping, and every time they came to visit me in the ICU, I would nurse her just to kind of, get it flowing. And thank God it flowed again. And I was able to store a lot of milk, and now that milk is being to use because I can nurse less, and she is able to drink out of a sippy cup or a bottle, and I'm so thankful for that. And now it just helps me to be able to have more movement. I can leave and go as I please. I'm looking forward to some solo trips or some trips with friends because I don't have to worry about, well, how is she going to eat? Does she have milk? And if she doesn't drink that, she can drink alternative milk. We give Christian a milk called Ripple. I think it's a plant-based, use peas for the milk because he has a dairy allergy. So that's what he drinks, and she can drink it as well. So, thank God for options. Thank God for our support in our village. So we were even able to do that because that was a lot. And I had a little mom guilt there too, leaving my kids, but I knew that they were in great hands. And I knew that we needed it for our marriage because you have to make time for your marriage. You make time for yourself, you make time for your family, but you also need to make time for your marriage as well. Because at some point, these kids are going to grow up. We may be empty nesters to a certain extent, and then we're going to be looking at each other like, okay, what next? You know what I mean? And I never want to get to that point where we are foreign or unfamiliar to each other because we have spent so much time doing everything else. So we always prioritize our marriage. We prioritize date night, whether it's date night in or date night outside of the home. That is just something that we have always done. That is a foundational part of our relationship. When we met, we always dated and we traveled and we did things together. So it was nice to travel and just have that little piece and stamp in our relationship that lets us know, like, all right, we got this. We're gonna continue on going because all the summer and Elijah being in the hospital and just maintaining 4 kids with different needs and all those things is a lot, and a lot of couples don't make it because of these things are just hard. And if you can't work together, you're not going to be able to really take care of your household in the way that you can. So by the grace of God, we are able to do so. So we had a fantastic time, and I can't wait for the next trip. So now we are in September. So hello, September. How you doing, girl? Fall is my favorite month. As you see, I have my fall decor, my candle, my leaves, my blanket here. So I am all fall ready, fall themed. My birthday is in October. I am a Libra, so the fall season is mine, y'all. So when that weather, I'm in Michigan, I'm in the Midwest. So when that weather dropped to like 60 degrees, I start pulling out my little fall attire, and I'm here. I'm ready for it. But now as we transition into fall, one thing that is important to remember is that our routines transition, our moods transition, a lot of things are transitioning, and sometimes transitions can be very hard for a lot of people. And I feel like because of everything that occurred this summer, my focus has been off. I have had to just really kind of pile through everything, with having all the kids home, with trying to push through content, with trying to just maintain and survive. I really feel like we were in survival mode. So when I finally got to this moment, I'm like, I don't know what to focus on. I don't know what to do because my focus has been everywhere. So that's why I want to talk about how to reshift your focus for the fall seasons and fall transitions. So I have an acronym. Focus, FOCUS is my acronym. And as you enter into the fall season, take this acronym with you, this focus acronym with you, so you know what to focus on. If you're feeling cloudy, foggy, you don't know where to start, you're feeling unsure, uncertain, because those are some of the things that happen to me when I don't really have direction, when I don't know what to do or where to go. I have to reshift my focus. So the F in focus is to find your peace. And finding your peace for me means to ground and center yourself. How do you ground yourself? How do you center yourself? What can you go to that brings you that sense of peace, that sense of joy? And for me, that's getting back connected with God. Because sometimes when we are busy in the hustle and bustle and we are doing all the things, we may not be focused on God. We are not giving him our time and attention. Maybe we're not spending the time with him like we usually do. So I had to focus on God because God is always going to give us direction. He's always going to guide us and tell us where we need to go. So for me, my self-care routine includes my movement in the morning. I do my stretches, which I need to go back and do because I haven't done in a while, but I'll do my morning stretches. I'll do my daily devotional. So me and my husband have been doing a daily devotional from the Bible app since January of this year. That has been our goal. We'll each pick one every other plan, and it has been going really well. That's something that we have been doing. Then I do my journaling devotional by Marshawn Evans, I believe her name is. It's Believing Bigger Journal, 100 Days of Believing Bigger. So it has like a prompt, it has a message, a scripture, and a prayer. So that's just a way to kind of jot down my thoughts and what I'm feeling. And it's a really, really good. I'll link that down below if you're interested in it. But that has been a really good journal. Just to get your thoughts out and to kind of, like I said, center and give you that guidance. So yeah, it's just a time to reconnect. So whatever you need to do to recenter, reconnect, and ground yourself, do those things, because you need peace. When you are in the midst of chaos and everything's going on in the hustle and bustle, you may not have that internal peace because you're just trying to survive and do. So find what brings you peace and what brings you joy and reconnect with that. And for me, that was reconnecting with God. Easy way to remember how to find peace or how to reconnect or recenter is BMW. B stands for breathe. The M stands for movement, and the W stands for right. So take a minute to breathe. There's box breathing. There's like a 4-6-2 method or something like that, where you breathe in for so many seconds, you hold it for so many seconds, you release it for so many seconds. But box breathing is a great way. Breathing techniques just really give you oxygen. They open up different channels in your body. So breathing alone can do amazing things for you and can help you kind of recenter and calm after kind of an anxiety provoking or difficult moment. And then movement, of course, movement also just gets your body going and flowing and can really make you feel better and kind of get those toxic things out by moving your body. And then writing, journaling, getting those thoughts out of your head is very helpful. Again, journaling, writing to God, writing, just writing in general. You would be surprised when you sit down and you just start writing how much you may actually write if you really have something on your mind. So BMW, that's just a quick little thing, quick little tip that you can do when you're finding your peace, when you're trying to get reconnected. Just breathe, move, and write it down. The O in focus is organize your thoughts. So again, you may feel like you're in the midst of chaos. There's so much stuff going on. So you need to write some stuff down. Get it out of your head. So, and this is a good time to utilize those routines and those systems. And if you don't have them, this is a good time to try. And holler at me. I'll be happy to help you create better systems and routines, or just follow along with my content. Again, my newsletter and my Facebook group, because routines just help to take the guesswork out of everything. You know what you're cleaning, you know what you're cooking, you know what your days are looking like because they are routine. So you can organize your thoughts, you plan in the morning or whatever you choose to plan. Make your to-do list, so you just get it out of your head and you have a guide for your days. The days that I try to just go and do on my own, I tell you, they are all over the place, and I probably often don't get a lot of stuff done. But when I take time to plan, sometimes I'll plan the night before so I know what I'm doing the next day, or I'll plan in the morning when I wake up, when the kids are eating breakfast. I'll sit down, look at my planner, and see what's going on for that day. It just gives me a way, again, to get it out of my head, because you never know what's going to come up in your day. You're relying on your brain to do a thing, but similar to when Elijah went to the hospital, I didn't plan that, but God knew, because I ended up planning for July and August in early July. So I didn't even know that planning ahead was going to be helpful, but because I planned ahead and because he went to the hospital that end of July, I had already planned for August, so I was already ahead. So organizing your thoughts, writing it down, planning ahead, utilizing those routines can really help to shift and reshift your focus, especially for the fall. Fall can sometimes be a busier season. You have holiday times come up. You have a lot more things going on, where the kids are in full swing, back to school events, extracurricular activities. So you want to be able to write those things down and come up with some routines. Depending on where you live, it can be cold during the colder months. So you just want to make time to prepare, to maybe you have to leave earlier or shovel some snow or whatever the case may be. But you want to write it down on paper. You want to get a planner or a journal, however, or digital if you use a digital journal or planner. You just need something to capture those thoughts so you can go back to them. I love a good checklist. I make boxes or I'll use a digital one. So just check them off so I know I did the thing. And it's something about accomplishing one thing. It builds that momentum. It gives you those endorphins and it builds momentum to keep going. So the thing I love starting with is making up the bed in the morning. Making up the bed is like the first rush of endorphins, like, oh, I did a thing. I made up the bed and now it looks great. So now I can move on and do other things in my day. The C in focus is communicate your feelings. Communication is so important because how are you going to be able to get your needs met? How are you going to be heard if you don't communicate? For me, being able to record this video, being able to get back in my content, I had to really tell my husband, like, I feel bad when I have to go away and do things for me because I don't want to leave you with all the kids. I know it's a lot of work. I feel bad, blah, 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 blah. But I had to be honest about it. But I said, but I really want to show up for myself and for my community, and I really want to get this stuff out. And he encourages me to make sure that I make time for my self-care and make time for my business. And I try to have self-care Sundays, so I try to run a nice bath at the end of the day because for me, it's a way to end the weekend on Sunday nights and to start a new week. So it's my way to kind of decompress before a start of a new week. And sometimes I may not want to do it because I feel like, oh, it's too late, or, oh, we need to do this for the kids. But he'll be like, nope, you need to do it. So that accountability, so communicating, it helps it provides support. It, like I said, your needs are met and it gives accountability. Because if you said you wanted to do a thing and you tell that trusted person that you want to do a thing, they can hold you accountable and help to make that happen. I am getting more comfortable with delegating things to my husband, asking him, because for me, I don't know what it is, but I've always been like, I don't want to ask you for some things. I don't know if it's just the Black independent woman in me or what, but I'm getting more comfortable with it because I can't do it all on my own. And I don't want to do it all on my own. And I don't want to live a life of stress and pressure trying to do all the things. So communicating is huge. And maybe it's not to a spouse, maybe it's a trusted friend, a colleague, coworker, whoever is your person or somebody who you feel comfortable talking to. Communicate those needs. Maybe it's a therapist. Maybe you need a therapist to process some of your thoughts and feelings because you've been through some things. I have a therapist I go to regularly, and it was one of the best decisions I made. Sometimes you have to date around. You have to date a couple therapists to get the right fit and the right one, but I found a really good one, and it has really been helpful for me in my journey and my healing journey. So maybe it's a therapist, maybe it's somebody personal to you, but whoever it is, just have somebody you can communicate with. You can process things, you can work things out with. And I think that also helps to reshift your focus because you have somebody and you don't feel totally alone. And if that's something that you desire, that you need help with, let me know down below. If you've been on the journey and maybe it's not really working for you, talk to me. I'd be happy to help point you to some resources or just to kind of help you jumpstart to get started and get over that hump of doing it. I know it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to reach out. It's hard to talk sometimes, but doing it makes such a difference. I've really been fortunate to, I prayed for it and been fortunate to really connect with some really, really, really great individuals, and they are becoming some of my best friends. And I was afraid to have adult best friends because I didn't know what it looked like, but man, it was one of the best decisions I had. And we are so supportive and loving of each other and understanding of our situations. We provide safe spaces for each other, just open space to be and talk and grow and live and do. And everybody deserves that. It is so amazing. It's so different than some of the friendships I've had in my past and some of the situations I've been in. So God has really blessed me with some really, really, really great people. And that's from speaking up, being vulnerable, communicating, and just really putting out there what you want and treating people how you want to be treated. You put what you want out there and you'll receive that back. And thank God that I've had just some great people, some great support systems around me. The U in focus is utilize self care. We already found your peace and reconnected with God or recentered or whatever it is that helps you recenter, but you still need to find time for self-care, because when your focus is off, and especially as you transition into a new season, the fall season, you're trying to figure out new routines, you still need to make time for you, because burnout is real, exhaustion is real, and we are going. Sometimes you forget to pause and you forget to take care of yourself. So find time for self-care. There are so many different self-care types out of there. There's social, emotional, there's physical, there's mental, whether that's connecting with somebody at church, connecting with a friend, doing some physical activity, talking to a therapist, finding a hobby or activity outside of maybe your normal thing. And there's so many more. I feel like the types of self-care list is growing, and I talk a lot about that in my content and my newsletter and things like that. And I would be happy to do a specific video if you want to know more about types of self-care and how to find your self-care type. I'd be happy to. So you let me know down below if that's something you want to see. And I think that that's important for everybody. And there's a self-care type out there for everybody as well. And because sometimes we see the luxurious self-care or one specific type of self-care, and we may not see ourselves in that self-care, and that's okay. But just know that there's something out there for you. But to help you refocus, utilizing that self-care is key in doing that, because you just don't forget about yourself. You keep yourself on your to-do list, you keep yourself in your plan, because you take care of everybody else, you plan for everybody else, but then you don't plan to put self-care. Shalina B self-care, this is what she's going to do today. Whoever you are watching, put yourself first. It's okay. It's okay, and it's not selfish to do so. You are doing for everybody else. Just know that you deserve to do it for you. And it doesn't even have to be long. Even if it's a 10 or 15-minute thing, do that. But take time for you. Whatever that looks like, just do it, because self-care is taking care of your health and well-being. And it's important for your quality of life to take care of yourself. It's different than medical interventions, but it's really how you treat yourself, what you consume, what you watch. Are you, over scrolling so much? Are you talking to yourself negative? Are you around people that don't mean you well? Are you eating things that you shouldn't be eating? Are you not working your body or moving your body on a regular basis? There are so many things that you can do for your health and well-being, but think about it that way, because sometimes that self-care word can be a buzzword and people just don't really want to mess with it, which I get. But think about, what can I do for my health and my well-being, because it matters. And the S in focus is to shift your priorities. Sometimes we have to take a step back and we have to prioritize what matters. We have to rank those things, look at that list. So maybe you have a list of 5 things. What needs the most attention right now? What things can wait? You have to rank them sometimes. So take some time just to sit down, write. Maybe you have a full week. The upcoming week is a full week for us. We have something to do every day. For me, for my husband, for my kids. So it's going to be a lot. So we have to really shift our priorities and really focus on what matters. So we know we need a meal plan, because with things happening every day, throughout the day and in the evening, we don't want to worry about what we need to eat. So we need to meal plan. And if we're meal planning, we need to get groceries for the week. And because multiple kids need to go multiple places, me and hubby need to talk about who is doing what and where are we going. And then he still works and I still need to work as well. So we have to come together and prioritize those things in the order of importance and make sure that we get them done. So sometimes you have to shift those priorities. Everything does not matter. And with shifting priorities, you need to have some boundaries in there, because sometimes other people's priorities, other people's urgencies are not your emergency, is not your priority. So sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you have to say, right now I'm not available, or right now, no, I can't do this. And that's okay. Be okay with your no. No is a complete sentence. Even if it's your kids. I say no to my kids sometimes. I tell my kids, mommy needs her time, not right now, or or we'll do it at a different time, so I follow up with them. But no is okay. No is a full sentence, and sometimes you just need that to be able to prioritize what matters in that moment. So again, reshifting your focus for the fall. Focus standing for find your peace, organize your thoughts, communicate your needs, utilize self-care, and shift your priorities. So that is a focus acronym. So I just really wanted to share that with you, because that is something that I am using, that I have been using for a while. When I get in these tough spaces and these tough moments with everything going on and all the stress that's kind of been happening around new transitions, new beginnings, the summertime, hospitals, stays, all those things, it just important for me as I approach fall, that I approach fall with a different mindset, that I don't bring all of the gunk of summer into fall, because fall is my happy place. I am about to be another year old. I am thankful that I'm alive, because last year it was touch and go, but I am here this year. So I have so much to be thankful for. I love the holiday season, just to be with family and just all of the music and the pretty decor. Like, oh, it just brightens up my heart. Like, even right now, like, this just is so warm and inviting for me. So I am looking forward to this season, and I just wanted to make sure that I shifted my focus and my mindset before we enter into the fall. So I hope that that was helpful for you. Let me know down below what letter in the acronym stood out to you the most, or if it was all of them. Share this video with somebody else, this YouTube video with somebody else that needs it. I hope you enjoyed the update. Let me know what's going on with you in the comments. Make sure, if you are not, to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I currently don't have a schedule. I plan to post maybe twice a month, but I will, when I kind of solidify my schedule, you will know when I will be posting. But until then, make sure that you are signed up on my newsletter, because the newsletter will be the first place to know what's going on and some updates about me. So I would love to stay connected with you. So join the newsletter, subscribe here, and join the community. Let's connect, and let's continue to grow and take care of ourselves, prioritize our self-care, maintain our homes, have good routines, all of the things. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you have made it to this point, if y'all oldie but goodie, as Anitra B saying, put a orange heart in the comments so I know that you made it this far. And again, share the video, tell a friend to subscribe, join the community, follow me on Instagram and all of my other social platforms. They will be linked in the description box below, and I will talk to you in the next video.